y'all. Welcome back for another exciting episode of the Creatia Conversation, the number one news source for all that nerdish on the hub. I'm your host, Lord Cussalot Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet Tea, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I'm joined today by my co-host and special guest, the one and only Big Beezy.
What's up?
Bridget Holmes, how you doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
I'm surviving. You know,
Yeah.
it's been a
Sorry.
long week. I'm
I
tired.
just got used to hearing you with that voice and then coming off of it. I'm like, oh, I'm less stressed now for some reason.
The auto tune stresses you.
It's like hype, but I don't know, like hype stress. You feel like you gotta like do something. Anyway, but yeah, I'm doing all right. Just hanging out,
Cool.
working, playing video games.
Yeah.
Usual.
Speaking of which, what you been playing? What you been watching? All that good stuff.
I've been playing the new Final Fantasy.
Okay.
I haven't gotten very far. Like, I'll play a little bit on my lunch break, but it's like an hour is not enough to get
It's not.
much done in that game. It's definitely something you gotta sit with. But I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm waiting for the game to start almost, but we'll see what happens.
Still, kind of feel like you're in the prelude kind of thing.
Yeah, like what's gonna happen. But yeah, I've been playing that. I've been watching Hell's Paradise.
I don't think I'm aware of that one. What's that about?
It's an anime. I just watched the first episode recently, and it's pretty good. So
What's it about?
It's like about a shinobi, and he's like super strong, and he gets a quest to like go to Hell's Paradise and find out, find the elixir of life. Or the elixir of immortality rather. So it's looking like it'll be really good. It's got really great animation in it, so I'm interested to see where the story goes.
Interesting.
Yeah, what about you? What have you been playing? What have you been watching?
Not really playing much lately. I've been pretty busy. We've talked about this before, but I should have some more time to actually play things next week. At which time I'll probably pick up Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really watching anything new. Still watching Human Resources on Netflix. It's the spinoff for Big Mouth. Yeah, that new season dropped, so watching that. Watched Secret Invasion the other day.
How do you like it?
It's what I was expecting it to be, so I'm enjoying it. It's the kind of like gives me more Winter Soldier vibes and other MCU movies and all that, and that's what I'm looking for. But
is it confusing? Is it confusing or no?
No, it's not confusing.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's there. You're gonna have questions, but you're supposed to.
Right.
It's more of like because whole premise of it is, the scrolls are doing shit and they can be anybody. And so you don't know who's a scroll and who isn't and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're going to have questions, but it's not hard to follow.
Yeah.
I did just find out that there's another American Gladiators documentary that just dropped on Netflix. So I'm going to have to see that one too.
Okay.
It won't be like the 30 for 30. They call this one the unauthorized one, but it looks like they actually have the more famous gladiators like Nitro and all them in it. So we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what they talk about in that one.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think that's it as far as what I've been watching. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, making our way through Picard also. Strange New World drops a new episode weekly. So when a new episode of that comes out, we'll watch that and then continue our way through Picard season 3. And we'll finish that up. And I'm sure there'll be more to watch. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But, Bridget, thank you for being here. And also, I want to thank all of you who are watching right now for watching us. If you're not watching us live, know that you can watch us live. You go right over to twitch.tv/Creatia World. And while you're there, subscribe to us. We really appreciate that. Because if you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Prime Gaming. And that gives you a free Twitch subscription every month. So you just go there and you drop us your free Twitch subscription by linking your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get that. You get free games. You get free looting games, all that kind of stuff. Great, cool, free shit. Like I was talking about this with Matt yesterday. Baldur's Gate 3 comes out in August, the end of August. Well, Baldur's Gate 2 will be free if you have Prime Gaming on June 27th. So you get free games and shit. You also get access to Amazon Luna, which is, their game cloud streaming service thing. So lots of free games to play there too, all by just linking your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. And don't forget, while you're doing that, once again, throw us your free subscription that you get. You got to re-up it every month. They don't do it automatically, but please throw it our way. If you don't throw it our way, though, give it to your favorite Twitch, streamer. Use it. Don't lose it. Also, you can watch us live on YouTube at youtube.com/Creatia World. While you're there, we can also, you can watch us later there also. But while you're there, subscribe there as well. Also, there's a little bell right there. You see that little bell? There's a little bean underneath it. Flick that bean underneath it. And that way you get notified every time we drop a new video, every time that we go live, all that good stuff. And speaking of flicking that bean, go to pornhub.com/model/Creatia World. You can watch our stuff there as well, because we are the #1 news source for all that nerdish on the hub. So watch us there too. And if you want to support us financially, you can go to patreon.com/Creatia World. And for just $1, you get all our extra stuff, but you also can get other perks at higher levels and everything. But our extra stuff would include, Multiverse. Myself and Mario the Shark Watkins were watching, animated comic book movies and stuff. Some of the best stuff DC has ever put out, of course. But also, we'll probably make our way through some Marvel stuff too. Their older animation stuff is pretty cool. Also, return to wrestling with myself and the Warden Matt Ritter. Watching old WCW stuff, I make him suffer by seeing a whole lot of Hulk Hogan. He hates it, and I love him to suffer. So join me in enjoying Matt's suffering over at patreon.com/Creatia World. And you can also get other perks like, exclusive merch, and also getting this show ad-free and our other shows ad-free, all that kind of stuff. But go there and do all of that.
Do it. What's your preferred platform to be watched on? Do you have?
I don't have a preference.
Oh,
if you're watching us, I'm happy.
Yeah, I feel you.
If you were to ask Matt, he'd say his preferred platform for you to watch us on is Pornhub, but that's just because he wants the Pornhub numbers up, and it's really just a vanity thing for him. We don't get anything out of that. It's just
I see. Well, he should know that you can't get on that website in some states, apparently, unless you
you gotta like upload your ID and
you
shit.
gotta upload your ID, and I don't know, like who. Some people are probably like, not desperate, but like, comfortable enough to do that. But
well, in order for us to post on there, we had to do that. So
okay,
it was a thing. So I get it if you don't want to, but I only did it because we're trying to upload on there. If I wasn't trying to actually upload,
right, that's
something
fair.
Like
As someone uploading, I get it, but like as a viewer, it's like, oh, okay.
yeah, I understand. There's other places to get porn that don't require your ID.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it's about that time, Big Beezy.
Newsy time.
Okay.
So, big news story today. It's probably going to take up a big chunk of our time. Wet my whistle a little bit before we get going.
Yeah, wet it.
So, Xbox's big Activision Blizzard FTC trial has started. Yesterday was day one. So a whole lot of stuff came out of this. This thing was so fucking ridiculous. Bridget, let me just like the kind of things that were said during this time was just like, you can tell like Microsoft is really trying to downplay themselves and all that kind of stuff. Like a lot of things were said. So this article comes from IGN. They've been covering it in real time from Logan Plant. Check this article out. Give them the clicks and all that. Say don't fire more people. It's crunch time for Microsoft and the Xbox brand as company leaders are heading to federal court this week to defend their proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard against the United States Federal Trade Commission. Once again, I want to reemphasize this was only day one yesterday. Apparently, it's supposed to be 5 days or something like that. The legal battle between Microsoft and the FTC began last December when the agency announced its plans to block Microsoft's enormous $68.7 billion purchase. Last week, a federal court in California issued a temporary restraining order order requested by the FTC that basically blocks Microsoft and Activision Blizzard's deal for the time being. This week's trial will see the FTC attempt to impose a preliminary injunction on Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. If successful, it would mean Microsoft and Activision Blizzard can't complete the acquisition while the FTC's review of the transaction's compliance with U.S. antitrust law is ongoing. The preliminary injunction would have a significant and potential deal-breaking impact on Microsoft and Activision Blizzard's plans, as the deal needs to close by July 18th, 2023, or the parties will need to renegotiate. An evidentiary hearing between Microsoft, Activision Blizzard, and the FTC is scheduled for August 2nd, which falls after next month's deadline. So, here are some of the things that came out during this whole thing. First of all, Microsoft claims Bobby Kotick, he's the dude in charge over at Activision, demanded bigger revenue share to put Call of Duty on Xbox. So, in arguably the craziest revolution of the day, Microsoft claimed that Activision almost decided not to put Call of Duty on Xbox unless Microsoft gave Activision a greater revenue share. Xbox's Sarah Bond also detailed the limits on Xbox's marketing of Call of Duty during Activision's exclusive marketing deal with Sony. So, this is one of those things that's just like it sounds crazier than it really is as far as what was actually said between Activision and Blizzard, because really what it was like, yeah, they threatened they wouldn't put Call of Duty on Xbox unless Microsoft gave Activision a greater revenue share. You know what that's called? That's called negotiation, people. Like, you're trying to decide, I want this on my platform. Like, oh, you want this on your platform? Okay, well, it's going to cost you some money. They're like, well, we can offer you this much. Like, nope, you need to give us a bigger share than that. And they're like, no, we're not going to give you a bigger share than that. Like, well, then we won't put it over there. If you don't give us a bigger share. It's this posture and negotiation, back and forth kind of shit. It's not as huge of a deal as it's being made out to be, but they try to make it a huger deal because it's like, yeah, we're on the defensive here. We're just trying to do what we can. Blah, blah, blah. Poor Microsoft. What's going on, what they're trying to do.
So they just want no, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What is it? They want Blizzard. Is that what they're
trying to buy Activision Blizzard.
Okay. I mean, sure. I don't see an issue with that. I guess, I don't know. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's not, all this stuff is not as crazy as it sounds, but the way that it's being put out there by Microsoft is making it seem like it was worse because they're trying to make themselves feel like, seem more of the underdog in this situation. Like, we're just trying to survive. We're just trying to make it, even though they just pointed out that they're pacing as far as revenue goes is higher than it was for the 360, which is actually considered their best generation, but whatever. And it's they're falling behind as far as PS5 and Nintendo are concerned, but so he's still doing very well,
right? But even just looking at the comments, Nero Coder 7 says, how has Disney not had something this drawn out? They acquired rights to Marvel, Star Wars, and Fox Entertainment. That's not even including the souls of all those child actors they've acquired.
Valid.
And it says that Microsoft didn't pay the right people, most likely. Disney probably did, and that Marvel and Star Wars aren't the same comparison as this. Fox should have been more heavily looked at, though.
Fox was the big one. It was crazy when that happened. I'm like, nigga, how?
I mean, who do I work for? I work for Disney. Technically, I work for Disney because of that, acquisition. Substantis says that FTC has no case. Microsoft is going to embarrass them. This deal needs to go through, and we can finally stop hearing about this merger. The comments include, I think the federal judge will not grant the TRO, and then it will be over. The FTC will withdraw its complaints. And that's it. So people
Yeah, we'll
seem
see.
to really be like similar, like mindset. Like, why are we what?
Yeah. So there's more to this. So here's the thing. Machine Games, Indiana Jones game was originally planned for release on PS5. So in one of the biggest reveals of the trial so far, which is when they just put everybody's business out there, it's just like, so we learned Disney initially had a deal with Bethesda's Machine Games. You know, Microsoft now owns Bethesda. They're part of the Xbox family now. But they were like working on a deal to put, I'll tell you, like, so to create a multi-platform AAA Indiana Jones game. After Xbox acquired ZeniMax, however,
sorry, go ahead.
it's a valid question. Like, but anyway, after Xbox acquired ZeniMax, however, the parties amended the deal to turn the project into an Xbox and PC exclusive. I don't know why PlayStation would want that. They already have Uncharted.
Yeah, I'm like, they already, like, I'm thinking Indiana Jones. Do you mean another Uncharted, another Tomb Raider? Like,
yeah.
I mean, Uncharted is
I can understand a lot more why Xbox would want that more than PlayStation would want that, because Xbox doesn't have an Uncharted, you know. So it's just like,
wouldn't they make more money like to not make things exclusive? Like exclusive, like I loved Fable. Trust me, I loved Fable, but I'm not gonna buy Xbox to play Fable. And I think a lot of people aren't gonna buy an Xbox to play this or a PlayStation to play that if they already have the opposite system. Yeah. I really feel like they'd make more money by just making it multi-platform. To me, at least, that's how I feel.
It's one of those building value kind of things. You're not going to do it for just one game, but you'll do it for that library of games. Like, there's a reason why when a new generation comes along, I'm getting a PlayStation. I'm not getting an Xbox, because PlayStation makes the kind of games I want to play, and they have them only on PlayStation. Yeah. If you are like one of those people, like, you know, this generation probably not, but like next generation, if you see like Xbox has all these things and it's time to buy a new console, like, am I going to get a PlayStation or am I going to get an Xbox?
I just don't see people switching over though, like to the opposite side. Like, I just feel weird. Why are there sides? Like, just make. I mean, I get it for some things, but it's like they're going in the direction of making only exclusives. And I mean, we are PlayStation people. I feel like, not to be like racist or anything, but like like white people like Xbox and black people like PlayStation. Like, but I prefer PlayStation because they have more indies and they have a lot more like anime like type games. So
they do a lot more like, you know, weird, interesting stuff that you won't see on Xbox. I get it. And that's the thing. It's the exclusives that are pulling you over there. Like, that's my point. So both sides, you know, I guess, you know, like you said, it's weird that there's sides in this because we're all just playing games and it's supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be fun.
But the thing is, everybody wants to have those exclusives because that's what's drawing people in. So that's what they're going for. So, which, you know, one thing that might have enticed me over to getting a, you know, Xbox is this next thing here. Even though I don't have to because I have a PC, because all Xbox games are now available on PC.
Right.
But
it's like
Starfield. So Pete Hines says Starfield wouldn't be out in 9 weeks if it was releasing on PS5. So Bethesda's Pete Hines said Xbox exclusivity has streamlined development somewhat, allowing for more rounds of quality assurance. However, Hines also indicated he felt blindsided by Xbox's commitments to make Call of Duty multi-platform, wondering why the same couldn't be done for games like Starfield. So, makes sense, because when you're only making something for one platform, I'm sure the process is easier. You don't have to account for all these different variables. You're only really accounting for what's right in front of you, and that being the Xbox system. Makes perfect sense to me. Now, the whole Call of Duty, talking about why it couldn't be, you know, multi-platform like Call of Duty was, be quite honest with you, sir, because you're not Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty is like the biggest video game property in the world. So, yes.
Everybody knows what Call of Duty is.
Yeah. Like Starfield, you have to tell people what Starfield is. Yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely in there day one, but yeah, it's
interesting.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure everybody's expecting them to acquire it without issue.
And here's the big one here to me. Microsoft admits Xbox has lost the console wars. So Microsoft has claimed Xbox has officially, quote, lost the console wars, arguing that it's consistently been in third place behind Sony and Nintendo in market share since the original Xbox launched over 20 years ago. Now, that's true / not true. Overall, during that time, yes. But that 360 PS3 era, it's mostly kind of understood that Xbox was winning that one till the very end. Like,
Yeah.
it was one of those things. Everybody was playing the 360 because the PS3 was one of those things that developers didn't like developing for, so it was hard to get games on there. But then, you know, PlayStation started dropping all these exclusives that were like banger after banger after banger, and people, you know, got more PlayStations, and it was a thing. You know, makes sense. But yeah. I mean, looking at them though, as far as, you know, everything goes, and you're watching how these, you know, consoles are ranked. Yeah, PlayStation's at the top. Nintendo's right behind me, even though they're really not in the same race as the other two. They're just kind of thrown in there. They're playing a very different game than Xbox.
Yeah,
and
they're
are.
playing a nostalgia game for sure.
Yeah. So that, and then we got you know, Xbox is underneath them. The problem is with that logic is it's them being in third place gives off the impression that they're not doing well, but they are. Like,
yeah, they really are. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they want to be at the top. And like, I had a 360 actually before I had a PlayStation 3. So I agree that was the time for them. But
so you wait. So you had a 360 and then you got a PS3. What made you get a PS3?
I wanted Persona. I wanted
exclusives.
to play Persona. Yeah.
The exclusives. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not going to make people switch, but you might end up getting another console, you know?
Yeah.
And getting that console if they have what you want. So that's their whole thing with the exclusives and all that. That's the point I was trying to make before.
I guess that's true. It has to be more than one though, you know, like it was Persona, it was some other stuff I can't remember at this point, but just the appeal of the PlayStation is what it drew me in. And
Xbox is trying to create that appeal. That's why they're buying up all these studios. That's why they're trying to get these exclusives on their platform.
Is, if people have PCs, then they're not going to buy Xboxes because if it's going to be available on Xbox, it's probably going to be available on PC. So.
Yeah, but you got to remember too, Bridget, we're not the norm. Like, we have PCs that can do that kind of shit, but. We need them for other reasons. So
that's fair.
So it's just like we built these PCs or bought them or however you. I don't know. Did you build yours or did you?
I did.
Yeah, exactly. So we built them to be able to do all the things that we do. Yeah, and it's just like gaming is a part of that, but it wasn't.
But in addition to
exactly.
Power for for like streaming or power for drawing or power for whatever. But I don't know. I think. A lot of people, I think most people are going to be drawn to PlayStation unless there's a other factor, and maybe Xbox should try this because children do sell, and maybe they should try for a little bit like more games for kids, teens and below. Because
that sounds like a losing battle to me, though.
For Christmas, then they're probably going to be able to get it for Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a losing battle, though, because then you got to go up against Nintendo. At that time, you're actually directly competing with Nintendo. And Nintendo
I guess it would only be specifically teens that want to play, I don't know, because Fortnite is everywhere, isn't it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And the weird thing about that is teens want to play the older people stuff because they think they're grown. So it's just, it's a weird spot to be in, but again, it's not like they're struggling. Like they're doing well. So it's,
it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Some other things. So Sony's Jim Ryan said he was pretty sure we will continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for many years to come. So PlayStation boss Jim Ryan wrote an email. I'm pretty sure we will continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for many years to come. In response to the news, Microsoft intended to buy Activision Blizzard. Ryan also said the acquisition wasn't an exclusivity play at all, which is a big contrast to Sony's public-facing messaging over the last year. So apparently there was an email going back and forth within Sony where he was just like, we'll be fine. We're still going to get Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But, outwardly he's been saying, like, no, they're trying to get all this stuff. We're trying to take away Call of Duty and all these other Activision titles and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like, this is one of those situations where it's actually not in Microsoft's best interest to keep Call of Duty exclusive because the amount of money that shit makes, like, that is literally, if they were to make that exclusive, really is a situation of cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like, like you are literally giving away money. Like, if you don't do that. Let's see. Big part of this one, which I actually had in a separate news story, but it's actually was a part of this whole developing thing. Microsoft expects the next generation of consoles to come out in 2028. So, in court documents released ahead of this morning's trial, we learned Microsoft expects the next console generation to begin in 2028. That means the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox would come out around 8 years after its current generation began. Makes sense. That's about how cycles work. Yeah. But, it's interesting to hear them actually say that out loud. So, yeah. I mean, is that about when you were expecting them or,
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. It literally feels like, well, I guess that's pretty far away still. When it happens, it'll probably feel like it's time. But I can understand that. I personally don't feel like there's a lot of PlayStation 5 games for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, we still got 5 years to go, though, Big B.
But yeah, there's still like 5 years to go. So I don't know. But, we'll all be looking forward to it. And hopefully they have some better, like there won't be a shortage or anything like that. So
were you able to get one at launch, or were you like struggling to find one for a while?
We got one at launch thanks to a friend. But yeah, like a friend in New Jersey bought us one and we paid them, and then they mailed it to us. So it worked out. But I know a lot of people who are just now getting
Yeah, I was able to get mine on launch day. When they dropped the pre-orders, I was one of the ones, like, I had my laptop out, had my desktop out.
I was like out there
refreshing and looking at everything at the top. And then, like, I was originally trying to get, the disc, the one that the digital only one, because I haven't bought a game on disc in like I don't know how many years. It's probably been.
What do you do with your space? Even just Final Fantasy, I had to delete so much shit just to make space for that thing.
I delete stuff because honestly, I'm really only going to be playing one of these at a time anyway. I don't need to pile up the games in there. So it's
I get real like
it's
emotional.
fast enough. Yeah, but that's the thing. You don't lose your save. You just lose the game itself on there. So if you re-download the game later, which won't take that long because it is a whole lot faster now than it used to be.
That's true.
And on top of that, you got the PlayStation app now. While you're out one day, like, hey, I think I want to play this when I get home, and you can just download this on my PlayStation. They
had an app.
Yeah, you can have it downloading the shit for you, and it'll be on there by the time you get home. Like you don't really like. It's not that big of a deal to delete stuff anymore.
Yeah,
I had to work that out in my head because it was bothering me for a while too. But like, no.
Yeah, it's okay.
Travis, you're okay. You're only playing one of these at a time. You don't need all 5 of them right there.
Right. It's kind of like I have issues like closing tabs. I'm like, what if I forget? Like, but
if you forget, it wasn't that important anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. So, well, cool.
And if it is, somebody will remind you. Yeah. Like, that's kind of how I had to work that out too. I used to have that problem with keeping tabs open, leaving my PC running for like, weeks, and I'm just like, I need to stop doing that. Like,
me literally earlier today, I was like, have I turned this thing off this week?
Yeah, I had to make it a habit to where like I shut this thing down every night now. Like, I'm not leaving it running.
That's good.
Like, it's
a good
habit.
It's
it's before going to bed habit where shut everything down on the computer. It's all good. Boom, boom, boom.
Nightly routine.
Yeah,
and it's nice to like even me like when I woke up and sat down at my desk and like, logged into my computer, and the file that I had open that I was working on, I was like, fuck. Like, it's just like, I don't want to do this. So if I had turned it off and started it back up, it would be a little bit more like, okay, what was I doing? Not like just being like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, more of a fresh start kind of thing. I know what you mean.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. What else we got? So Xbox's Matt Booty says decision has not been made on Outer Wilds 2 PlayStation release. So since acquiring ZeniMax, Xbox has turned multiple games into console exclusive, including Redfall and Starfield. But Xbox's Matt Booty said a final decision hasn't been made regarding the exclusivity of Obsidian's Outer Worlds 2. It's going to be exclusive. I don't know why he said that shit. Well, I do know why he said that shit, because he's on this trial thing and he's trying to put it out there that he's not trying to make everything exclusive, and we're going to be, yeah, it's going to be exclusive.
And then he's going to be like, actually, I'm sorry, is his last name Booty?
Yep, his name is Booty.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Booty. Matt.
Wow.
Booty.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep.
Okay.
And he became an adult and it was legal to change it. He said, nope, I'm going with this.
I'm going to keep the Booty legacy, he said. Okay, Sir Booty.
Exactly. Let's see. Sarah Bond, Xbox Cloud is Game Pass Ultimate's least popular feature, she says. Bond revealed that gamers primarily use xCloud gaming on consoles, saying that it's the least popular feature included in Game Pass Ultimate. Makes sense, because a lot of people still aren't familiar with how cloud gaming works, and they still are not happy with lag and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
doing things streaming. As someone who has done some cloud gaming stuff, I've done it on my PC though, like mentioned earlier with Amazon Luna, that kind of thing. It works fine for that, but it doesn't. I haven't tried it on something huge, and that would, or something that I'm playing competitively against other people and all that kind of stuff.
We're just not those kind of gamers, though. At least I'm not.
Yeah, and the last little note here. Apparently, the FTC went on the attack against Bethesda. As the FTC met Microsoft in a U.S. court today over a potential pause on the impending acquisition, all the Call of Duty fears have been dredged right back up again, and it's partially thanks to the no longer secret inner workings of a previous deal, Xbox's 2021 acquisition of ZeniMax. So basically, it's the whole exclusivity thing with them getting Bethesda, and how a lot of stuff that was going to be multi-platform is now only on Xbox. Like they just mentioned, the whole ZeniMax thing and the Indiana Jones game and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I know that was a lot.
No, I mean, it's super interesting that they are I'm wondering why Apple never had to go through this type of thing. I don't know if you've ever looked into the news with Apple, and they're the EU is very much pissed at Apple all the time. I feel like they're all right, you need to make the charger USB-C, you need to make this available so it's not so expensive for everybody just to own this thing, or the batteries, people need to be able to change their batteries and all this stuff. So I don't know, it's definitely interesting, the route that they're taking to get these exclusives and acquire. It's not a monopoly, but it is you only have 3 choices. You got Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch, Yeah.
But yeah, I want to take this time also just to remind you folks about patreon.com/creationworld. If you go there, you get all kinds of perks, including getting this show and our other shows ad-free. But since you're watching us here and not on patreon.com/creationworld, here's a word from our sponsors. Want to spice things up in the bedroom? Then it's time to check out Adam and Eve. Did you see, Adam and Eve is the leading adult toy store that offers a wide range of products to help you explore your sexual desires. Whether you're looking for something to use solo or with a partner, they have everything you need to satisfy your cravings. From vibrators to lingerie, bondage gear to lubricants, AdamandEve.com has it all. And the best part, you can shop with confidence, knowing that all their products are of high quality and backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means whether you bought a dildo, sex swing, penis ring, vibrator, anal sex toy, bondage toy, Couples toy, lube, or accessory, you can get a refund within 90 days if you're not 100% satisfied. No questions asked. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Adam and Eve is giving you 50% off almost any item on their website. That's right, 50% off. And if you act now, you'll also get free shipping. So go to adamandeve.creationworld.com and use the offer code erotica at checkout. That's erotica at adamandeve.creationworld.com for 50% off almost any item and free shipping. Don't wait. This offer won't last very long. The link is in the description. Attention dog lovers. Are you looking for high quality products to spoil your furry friend? Then you need to check out dog.com. Because you see, dog.com is the go-to online store for all your dog-related needs. They offer a huge selection of dog food, treats, beds, and more. Plus, they have products for all types of dogs, from puppies to seniors and everything in between. And the best part, you can shop with confidence knowing that all their products are made with your dog's health and happiness in mind. Dog.com only stocks top-rated brands that you can trust, so you can rest easy knowing your dog is getting the best. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Dog.com is doing a big warehouse clearance sale. And all you have to do is go to dog.creationworld.com and you can get up to 80% off on all sorts of items like toys, treats, bones, harnesses, bowls, leashes, and anything else you can think of. So go to dog.creationworld.com and take advantage of this sale right now. Spoil your furry friend with the best products from dog.creationworld.com today. Link is in the description. Are you tired of feeling sluggish and unfocused throughout the day? Then it's time to try Dubby, the ultimate energy source. Dubby is a powerful clean energy drink that is designed to help you stay alert and focused no matter what life throws your way. Whether you're a student, a busy professional, an athlete, or especially a gamer, Dubby can give you the boost you need to take on the day or the night. It also contains important aminos and vitamins that canned energy drinks simply don't have. And the best part, Dubby is made with high-quality ingredients and is completely sugar-free, maltodextrin-free, and is keto-friendly. So you can enjoy the energy boost without any of the crash, jitters, or angst that comes with traditional energy drinks. Simply mix Dubby with water and you'll have a delicious, refreshing energy drink that can help you power through your entire day. And with a variety of flavors to choose from, including Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dragonade, you're sure to find one that you love. So go to dubby.creationworld.com and order your Dubby today. And for a limited time, use code Creatia at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's Creatia at dubby.creationworld.com for 10% off. Try Dubby today and feel the difference. The link is in the description. So, Big Beezy.
I'm looking at dog.com. I'm like, damn, this is a good deal. Y'all should hit this up.
Yeah. Our sponsors got good deals. Just, go to dog.creationworld.com and get some dog stuff,
Especially, like, I need a dog bed, and then they're expensive. So if I get a deal, the more money you spend, the bigger the deal. Anyway.
Question for you.
What's up?
What's your relationship to The Sims?
Oh, my gosh. Well, not only is it my maiden name, but...
Your maiden name is Sims?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, I was
unaware.
Bullshit, BS for most of my life. Anyway, I love The Sims. I played 1, 2, 3, and 4. I had a whole Tumblr dedicated to my Sims. I've been thinking about getting back into The Sims as just like a, it's a good time. I used to be obsessed.
So you've been thinking about getting back into it. Were you looking for something specific to maybe incentivize you to get back into it?
Yeah, of course.
Would horses do that for you?
No, I wasn't a horse girl though.
Oh, horses won't do that for you. Well, you know what? We're gonna watch this anyway. There's crude humor, sexual themes, and violence in this trailer, though. So let's see what's happening.
Farm.
Let's see.
Oh shit! I gotta link this to my friend. Wow. I love Simlish too.
There's a whole ranch town thing going on here.
Wow. Oh.
Oh, there's goats. Get your ass off me.
Wow.
I feel like the goat was laughing at him. Okay, just stomp grapes to make the wine, or I guess it was nectar in the last one.
Oh yeah, it was nectar. Wasn't it?
Okay.
Daisy. I don't even like country music like that. Wow.
Is that a skeleton horse?
Go ahead, girl. I would never ride a horse over a ravine, but that's just me. Shooting a daisy. Wow.
So is it just horses, goats, and sheep, or are there other farm
That
animals?
is sheep. I guess it is still sheep. Yeah, goats. Give me some chickens. Take the
Chickens
reins.
and cows and
Wow.
July
Can you send
20th.
me the link to this trailer?
Yeah.
Wow, that was lovely. I mean, it is not making me want to play more, but God, the whole thing. I don't know. The last time I played The Sims, they had Origin as their like Steam type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they still use Origin.
Yeah,
or if it's
EA.
something
That's what
else.
EA uses. Yeah.
They still have Origin. I just have to remember
I think
to
so,
log in because
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they still use Origin. I'd have to ask
Okay.
Mara. She's the real Sims person around here. I haven't touched
Yeah.
that game in years.
Wow.
But yeah, Sims 4 Horse Ranch expansion.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You know what else
I
is
mean,
crazy?
What else is crazy?
I believe you were here for the death of E3. Were you not?
I sure was.
So they killed 2023 E3. And now it seems that 2024 and 2025 are also dead, if you all didn't know that already, because it kind of seemed like a no shit kind of situation. But let's just look further into it. So this article comes from comicbook.com from Cade Ondor. The original article, because there has been updates, reads, EA will reportedly not return in 2024 or 2025. E3 has always been one of the most beloved events in the entire industry and has often been viewed as a Christmas-esque event for gamers. Yes, that is exactly how I saw it. No bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's where we got a bunch of new looks and details on all the hottest games, hardware, and so much more. It's a week of the biggest news, trailers, and demos, but unfortunately, it has struggled to make a comeback. The last popular E3, that's in quotes, was 2019. It was canceled in 2020, returned in 2021 as a digital event that a lot of people felt was weak. Kind of was. Well, it was canceled in 2022 and in 2023 as well. There was an intent to bring it back in the future, but it seems if it happens, it will be a while. The reason being that reason for that is that has been reportedly canceled for 2024 and 2025. The Los Angeles City Tourism Board of Commissioners held a meeting with various numbers, updates, and forecasts for tourism in the city of Los Angeles, where E3 has historically been held. The event is typically in the Los Angeles Convention Center and occupies that space for about a week in June. The space has to be reserved pretty far in advance, and E3 is one of the biggest conventions occupying that space. But the Los Angeles City Tourist Board of Commissioners noted that E3 had been canceled for 2024 and 2025. With that said, it's unclear if it will return in the future. It's possible E3 just relocates to a different city or something. There was an update. The ESA, folks who run E3, the organization that runs E3, has stated it is still deciding on what its plans for E3 2024 and beyond look like. No final decision has been made, despite the claims from the Los Angeles City Tourism Board of Commissioners. So basically, they said, look, they're not booking this space, and you know they're going to book this space well in advance, so they canceling this shit. But ESA is like, I never said we were canceling it. I'm like, well, look, if you're not canceling it, you definitely not having it here. So what are y'all doing?
Interesting. Reading some comments that, at least on Twitter, Luke Bernard says that they need to just cut costs and move it to Vegas.
Yeah, give me an excuse to go to Vegas.
Same. But as if we needed excuses.
I've never been to Vegas, so
we should just go. We should do like a couple trip and go. Anyway, another Vendor Tomat at Vendor Tomat says, guessing they're contemplating going digital only, but an in-person show is completely off the table. I think that COVID definitely was the nail in the coffin for E3, probably.
Yeah, they were already limping along before that.
Yeah, it was just like the last, like the bullet to the head for them. Mackenzie Watcher says that I hope it will make a huge comeback next year if Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation get things back together again. And the thing is that all these IPs have their own show that, you know, like they don't need E3 anymore. Like there's no need for it.
Right. And it used to
everybody
be a thing.
Watches everything separately. And I honestly I prefer it that way. It's less time. It's
See, here's the thing. I don't know. It was like we talked about before. It was Christmas for me. It was one of those things. Like I took off work multiple days because I'm like, I'm only consuming E3 this week. I would like go and I would get like no bullshit. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give me a bottle. I'm also gonna order food, so I don't have to go nowhere and all that. Like I ordered this whole like platter thing from Chili's and shit. Picked up food in the house, and I'm like, I can eat this for like 3 days. And I'm like, yeah, I got my own little craft services in my kitchen.
Wow.
And this is my day for like the next 3 or 4 days. It's just like I loved it. I did it all day, every day. Like I mentioned, one year I went to watch the Sony's E3 showcase presentation or whatever, press conference, whatever it was called back then, in an actual theater, because they were doing that back then. Like it was so exciting. Like it was just, I look forward to it every year. Now it's just like, we got Summer Game Fest, which is still fun. I still enjoyed it, but it doesn't feel the same, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't see E3 being relevant at this point. Like,
nah.
Nobody really.
It's
a war between, you know, Nintendo, Microsoft, or like Xbox and PlayStation, and it's like they don't even want to be. They're like a friend group, like a love triangle that like broke up, and they don't even want to be seen with each other anymore. They just need to have their own separate, like, or it's like Destiny's Child or something, and like Sony's Beyonce. And the other two are just doing their best to like have their solo performance.
Are you saying Nintendo is Kelly and
Xbox sure is
Michelle?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like I don't know.
Kelly's still doing her thing. She just doing it in like just in a very different way, but she's still good.
But she's still, and we still support Kelly, and you know we support Michelle. But it's like
Michelle's one of those things like you just kind of pat her on the head every now and then. It's like you're doing good.
I loved Michelle, but it's true. I mean, she's probably living her life, doing her own thing. But
again, anyway, she's probably just fine. Just like Xbox is just fine. But it's just like you want to compare them to the other two. It's like,
well, and she, you know, shouldn't even compare. Don't even compare. You know, you're all proud of you. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we got a lot of gaming news today. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's go over to Warner Brothers because you know They're being weird again. So
I'm so tired of Warner Bros.
Warner Brothers Discovery is trying to sell film and TV music rights for $500 million. This article comes from comicbook.com from Jenna Anderson. So since their landmark merger in 2021, the business decision of Warner Brothers Discovery have gotten quite a bit of the spotlight. According to a new report, their latest possible move might make a major change to their iconic library of film and television music. On Thursday, a report from Hits revealed that Warner Brothers Discovery is looking to sell roughly half its film and TV music publishing assets. A subsequent report from Variety confirmed the negotiations and that the library would reportedly go for approximately $500 million. A lot of details are left. What was that?
God damn.
Oh, yeah. A lot of details are left under wraps, including which label could ultimately get the assets. Although Sony is, quote, said to be in the lead, it has been reported earlier this year that Warner Bros. Discovery was considering selling part of the catalog. While it's unclear which assets of the deal might be sold, Warner Brothers' music library includes the studio's Fanfare, Casablanca's As Time Goes By, as well as multiple Batman themes and songs from Purple Rain, Evita, Sweeney Todd, and Rent. Sources cited in Variety's reporting indicate that the assets that might be sold could end up being very few of these major songs that would instead largely consist of film themes and cues from much older films. That's what I was thinking too. It would be like, it wouldn't be stuff like all the Batman themes and all that, because they're still making Batman movies. They're not going to sell those,
Right.
Or like Purple Rain, you don't sell a Prince song. All right, it's just one of those things.
You really don't.
You hold on
like
to that.
If you sell it though, like what would someone do with that anyway? Like I guess it's more so like if you want to use Purple Rain, you have to buy it from.
Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, if I was able to somehow get the rights to use Purple Rain, I'll find a way to use it.
Or for Rent, I guess like if Netflix acquired that, then they would probably do like a reboot or something.
Something like that. Yeah, makes sense.
But that's very interesting. I mean, I have no input here. I don't like Warner Brothers.
But they're being weird again. It's just like all the
TCM.
time.
I don't know anybody that watches TCM. I remember that being on like when you would go to TV Guide, and like
I remember seeing commercials for Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah,
and being like
my
never
mom
gonna watch
loves
this.
all those old movies and stuff, but the thing is, you can watch them on cable. You can rent them on YouTube, probably. Like all these things.
They're like there's a streaming channel on the Roku TV that only shows shit like that. Like
exactly, all that old shit. And people who know what TCM is are becoming more and more older and older. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Even my parents watch a lot of old shit like that. Like my mother still, I can guarantee you, I think she was off on Monday. At some point during the day on Monday, she was watching Bonanza. Like it was just
my mom. For my mom, it's every weekday at 11 o'clock. She's watching In the Heat of the Night, and and like it's funny because when I was like staying with her for a while when my husband was deployed, I was like invested. That shit is good. In the Heat of the Night is good. But anyway,
I remember nothing about that show except the theme song. I can sing the whole thing, but I don't remember anything about the show itself.
It's such a good show. Like I'm like looking up, where can I stream this? Like those are the type of things that happen though. Like as me, someone who can appreciate these older shows and older movies, my first reaction is, where can I stream this? Because I don't want to watch it on TV. So I mean,
commercials suck, but
they do.
And also like I gotta be there as soon as it comes on, so I don't miss the beginning and all. I'm like, no, I will go onto my streaming services to play this show from the beginning without any ads.
Right.
But yeah, so Time Warner's being rude. I mean, weird.
Yeah, they love
Warner, Warner Brothers, Time Warner, all them folks, all that shit, Discovery, them. Here's another interesting one. We're going back to games here. So apparently, about 10% of Starfield's planets have life on them as the game tries to capture, quote, the magnificent desolation of space, says Todd Howard. So Starfield's game director Todd Howard continues to make the rounds in advance of Starfield's September release, giving us a little more insight into just what the sci-fi epic is going to be when it finally comes out. I'll just say now, y'all, I've been consuming everything I've seen possibly coming out about Starfield because I am so excited for this fucking game.
It's funny. Like, I don't know if I was like had a gun in my head and somebody said, "Does Travis like sci-fi?" I would never, even though multiple times it's clear you're a sci-fi person. It's just funny. Like, I would just be like, I don't know, and then get murdered. Like, but the whole space
because
thing,
most of our interactions are usually involving fantasy, so it's
exactly. But like, you mentioned Star Trek and watching that. Like, are you a Star Wars fan?
No.
No.
Star Wars is something like I don't dislike it, but when it comes to Star Wars, most of the thing, it's not even that my loyalty is Star Trek. It's just when I watch Star Wars, the whole time I'm watching, I'm just like, I don't care. Like, so much is happening in this stuff, and it's just like it's just not that interesting to me. And it's like on paper, I should fucking love this. Yeah. But it's just like I don't.
I think the characters are boring. I do.
That's probably a big part of it. The thing is,
the characters on Star Trek are very like relatable, and when it comes to Star Wars, it's like a hero's journey. Like,
yeah, and the thing is, the stuff I like from Star Wars has nothing to do with those people. Like, I liked Rogue One. That's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Loved, and I don't even like I don't dislike Star Wars, but like I'm not like, ooh, a new Star Wars. But like Rogue One had me like with the tissue. It's like, it was just a beautiful film.
Yeah, the show Andor, loved that show. Mandalorian, enjoyed the fuck out of it. Book of Boba Fett, enjoyed the fuck out of that too. Like, but all the stuff that's pure, like, Jedi and the Force and all that, like on paper, I should love this.
Yeah,
but I don't. I'm watching. I'm just like, I don't care.
They don't have dragons, I guess.
And that's a big question I got with Starfield. Like, are there space dragons? I want space dragons.
Yeah.
If there's no space dragons, the game is automatically trash. But it turns out it's going to be pretty lonely, apparently. Howard says that about 10% of the game's 1,000 plus planets will have life on them as Bethesda tries to capture, quote, the magnificent desolation of the universe. Howard was
1,000 planets?
1,000 plus. Yeah. So Howard was chatting Starfield in yesterday's episode of the Kind of Funny Xcast, which I did listen to in its entirety, by the way, because like I said, I'm consuming everything involving this game.
Everything Starfield.
When the question of the game's many planets came up, asked about how much handcrafted content there would be on those planets and whether there would really be much for players to do. Howard answers, there's no way we're going to go and handcraft an entire planet. A lot of it is, procedurally generated, of course. Instead, Bethesda handcrafts individual locations, and some of those are placed specifically, meaning stuff like cities and locations associated with quests. And then we have a suite of them that are generated or placed when you land, depending on the planet. So basically, here's the thing, though. It sounds like it's not a lot, but it is. Because when there's 1,000 plus planets, 10%, that's 100 and some planets that were going to have life on them. Like,
and when does it come out?
September 6th.
On what platforms?
Xbox and PC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I might have to do some upgrades.
Yes, because if you're going to play it on your PC, your PC's hard drive needs to be SSD.
Yeah.
That's a requirement. Yeah. They're not expensive, though. But
yeah. I already got my solid state, everything.
Okay, see, I didn't have one, so I'm going to have to get one. But
yeah, and they're very easy to install. So
yeah. So yeah, I'll have that. And then I might upgrade my graphics card. I'm not sure if I'll do that yet. But
I really need to.
I meet the minimum requirements already, but it's not.
Do you want it to be like popping?
Exactly. Like, visuals aren't usually a huge deal for me, but they matter, So it's just like
we're different people.
If I'm gonna Starfield, I want a Starfield,
Yeah.
So yeah. 1,000 plus planets, 100 and some of them are going to be populated. I think that's just fine.
Yeah. It's a lot. And, it's a lot. So is it, I still need to finish watching the whole Starfield thing, but like, is it Skyrim in space? That's
Basically.
everybody's question when it comes to Bethesda. Like, is it Skyrim in, like Fallout is just Skyrim, which for a long time I didn't know. Fallout is scary though.
Yeah,
Like,
it's that's what it is. Basically, it's Skyrim in space. It's I haven't seen anything about a space dragon yet, but yeah. Skyrim in space is the way it's you can all the things. If you thought about it, you can probably do it. Only thing they're not letting you do right now, because they actually asked it on that podcast we're talking about here, there will not be any dedicated fishing happening. But
can I build a house?
You are building like a base kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can also completely customize your ship.
Oh, okay.
Or you can steal somebody else's ship.
Cool.
And then you have to register said ship, and then you can customize that ship as well.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It costs in-game currency to register your ship, but you can't, customize it until you register it. It's kind of one of those things to kind of keep the economy of the game balanced and keep you from having 78 customized ships. And
we don't need to be
because
crazy.
I would 100% go full space pirate
garage.
Have everybody's thing, and every ship looks like a dragon, because that's 100% what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Let's watch one more trailer and then we'll get out of here, okay?
Hell yeah.
All right, this one is for a Conan Exiles official Age of War Chapter 1 launch trailer. Let's see what's happening with Conan.
The Barbarian.
Yes. Rated M for mature.
Why do they resist?
I don't know, man.
Is this the guy?
When it is already over.
Sounds like God of War.
These exiles, little termite people, hoarding our treasures.
Racist, whatever.
Blind to the past. They fight, maim, kill, bereft of knowledge or
It's
dignity.
ugly.
It's not very visually appealing.
Why?
Struggle for scrap. They toil and build their walls.
What platform is this game on?
All right, I'm like,
maybe it's a mobile game.
it's ugly.
Have buried more banners than history can recall.
Look at her head.
Exiles, hear me now.
Yo,
We are
let's
the
talk about your hair
squeezing
physics
coils
too.
of history.
I was gonna say
Stone and dynasty to dust. We are the devouring serpent. We are empire.
together always stand. Okay. Oh shit.
We got some trebuchets. We got a giant snake. Okay.
Hell. Mobile.
No.
Wow. Why is it ugly? There's no excuse.
So I guess it's going to be on like all the PlayStations and Xboxes and whatnot. But
Interesting.
Yeah. I told you before, I'm not really a visuals guy, but that bothered me. So
like if you can't afford to make it look beautifully rendered, then go cartoony style. That is the answer. You know, to me, if you cannot make it look hyper realistic, then go cartoony. And I prefer cartoony because it lasts. It never is going to be like, oh wow, look at those graphics. If it's cartoony, it's fine.
And it gives you a style, you know.
And it gives, for sure. But what do I know? Whatever.
You're just an artist, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't know anything about art.
I don't.
Oh, Bridget, that's gonna be it for today. So
All right.
if y'all, want to follow us on all the things, you want to go to Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, you just go to at It's Creatia World. That is at ITSCREATIA World. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/Creatia World. And while you're there, subscribe, join our Facebook groups. Facebook.com/group/Them Dragons is our Facebook group for Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Share your Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon memes. Any thoughts you may have on the coming season of House of the Dragon that's coming eventually. It's probably going to be out in like 7 years. Because not only was it already going to take forever to come out anyway, but now the writers are on strike. So they're just like, they'll start writing in like 7 years. And now the actor's about to go on strike most likely too. And so like everything's going to come to a halt. And I'm just going to sit back and just like, okay, I guess I get content.
Yes, you better watch some reality TV.
Gross. I mean, if it gets me an extra season of Big Brother, I'll be happy. But
wow, Big Brother is the one, huh?
Yeah. The last writer strike, that's what happened. I got an extra season of Big Brother. That's actually the year I started watching Big Brother.
I've never watched Big Brother. Okay. What's the premise?
So basically, you get I forgot what the first number is, but group of people in the house. There's competitions throughout the week. Someone wins the first competition of the week, which is the competition to become head of household. And the head of household, for one, is immune from being evicted from the house. But also, the head of household chooses 2 people to be put on the chopping block. And at the end of the week, the house votes on which person on the chopping block goes home. Now,
I see.
There's competitions throughout the week to kind of help you out. Like there's the power veto competition. Whoever wins the power veto gets the right to veto one of the nominations.
Oh.
And so you get one of those nominations out and you got to put a replacement nominee on the block. But here's the kicker. About halfway through the season, the people who get voted off become part of what's called the jury. And the jury is who selects the winner of the game.
Okay.
So if you've been screwing people over the whole time to get to the top, those people might get a little pissed off and not vote you as the winner at the end.
I see. That makes sense. There's a lot of shows that I watch that are like that. And I guess they got that inspiration from Big Brother.
Yeah, because this show has been out. I think this is going to be season 26, I think, or something like that. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I started watching the show, I believe, in 2009.
Wow.
So, yeah.
They're still going.
Oh, yeah. Every year. I got a money in it.
Kind of like The Bachelor, I guess.
But more interesting.
All right.
Prize money is $750,000.
Oh, wow.
For first place. Second place, $75,000.
Oh, wow. They have places.
Yeah. And then there's America's Favorite House Guest gets a vote. I believe that's another $100,000. So, yeah.
All right.
But also, Facebook.com/group/Smacking It Raw. You go there. It's the official Facebook group for our wrestling podcast every Friday night, midnight, 11 p.m. Central Time, the Smacking It Raw podcast with the Warden Matt Ritter, Vince Day Delgado, and Katie Kinsey Bebe. Go there, check that out. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Lord_Cussalott. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Big Beezy, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Hexdraws. That's HEXDRAWZ. And also on Instagram at Hex Panda, I think. And yeah, look for me in the credits of Archer. And,
yes.
Yeah.
And Hit Monkey when that comes back.
And Hit Monkey, yeah.
Are they still doing voice work for that, or do you know?
Currently they are working on it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, all right, y'all. We out of here. We'll catch y'all next time for the Creatia Conversation next week. But until then,
we out.